Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hari ini we have very special guest. Hari ini we have an entrepreneur and investor, like you can say social media star as well, like because like for an entrepreneur you have so many followers here in Indonesia. Wempy, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for agreeing. Wempy, banyak orang mungkin lihat Instagramnya Wempy dan iklan Wempy yang ada banyak iklan. Aku juga lihat like how to be an entrepreneur. Kemarin yang paling terakhir aku lihat itu utang ya, how to handle utang gitu. You ask like don't run from debt collectors. And people want to know you. Buat orang-orang yang belum kenal Wempy sebenarnya who are you? Who are you?
Who am I? I'm a 42-year-old Indonesian-born man. No, but like really, jadinya Wempy itu lahirnya di Padang Panjang, di Sumatera Barat, 1976. Tapi setelah itu saat saya masih anak kecil, saya pindah ke Sydney. Dan saya tinggal di Australia sampai saya sekolah, saya TK, SD, SMP, SMA, S1, S2 itu semua di Sydney. Setelah itu baru saya pergi ke kerja di Singapura dan juga kerja di London, San Francisco, dan sekarang di Jakarta ya.
Sekarang di Jakarta ya. Ya, jadi Wempy itu entrepreneur ya, investor and entrepreneur. Tapi Wempy bilang tadi sebelumnya pergi kerja ya, kerja ke Sydney sama London. Dulunya emang kerja apa?
Saya kerjaan pertama saya yang corporate ya, yang setelah S1 itu pas waktu S1 actually, American Express. Saya kerja di it's a credit card financial services company gitu ya. 1997 was my first corporate job.
Oh, 1997. Wow.
When were you born?
1995.
Okay, so you were 2 years old when I was born. Yeah.
Terus, why did you decide to start your own companies? Kenapa tertarik jadi pengusaha?
Well, I think setelah saya sudah kerja sekitar 12 tahun untuk perusahaan yang lain, I just thought I'm working all of these hours. It was more about the hours, ya. I was working like dari pagi sampai malam, gitu kan, untuk orang lain, gitu kan, untuk perusahaan lain. So I thought, I might as well just try it on my own, and I decided to take the plunge, and it's been one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. I don't know why I didn't make that decision like
before.
Much before. I mean, look at yourself now, right?
Yeah.
How old are you now? 23?
No. I'm 23, but it will be 24 soon.
Yeah, but look at yourself. You're not working for somebody. You're not waiting for somebody to pay you on the 25th or 30th of every month, right? You are not being limited in terms of your time, right? Like 9 to 5, you have to be at this particular office. You're not being controlled. You're not being told what to do.
And
you're the entrepreneur.
What do you suggest to people? Should they start early or should they work for people? Apakah orang harus kerja buat perusahaan? Karena ada pengusaha bilang kamu kerja dulu aja baru mulai usaha, dan banyak orang bilang aku kerja dulu, nabung dulu baru mulai usaha. So what should people do?
Ya, saran saya untuk anak-anak semua, kalau bisa terjun langsung ke kewirausahaan. Become an entrepreneur to start off with, and make your mistakes there. Make your mistakes. I thought that you have to, work for a company first, have a boss, learn operations, learn all the divisions, and then start your company. But a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people jump and become an entrepreneur straight away. And I think you'll find that the greatest people in the world, the most effective, yang paling sukses itu adalah orang yang mulai jadi pengusaha itu di usia-usia muda. Will you make mistakes? Of course you'll make mistakes. We all make mistakes, right? Especially when you don't have a mentor or a boss to teach you, right? You'll make a lot of mistakes on your own. But if you're smart, you will learn and grow from those mistakes rather than falter and fall from those mistakes.
Yeah. So, how many companies do you have? Because banyak orang pengen tahu Wempy itu punya perusahaan di London, di Sydney, di Indonesia. And how many companies do you have? Berapa perusahaan yang Wempy punya dan di mana aja perusahaan tersebut?
Okay, so I'm an investor in a lot of different companies, and in fact, I will have a book coming out very soon, the 100 investments of Wempy Dyocta Koto.
Oh, 100. So, all information information will be there.
So here's the thing is that when I first came to Indonesia, saat saya pertama kali pindah ke Indonesia, I didn't want to tell everybody and express to everybody, oh, I'm an investor and I have like hundreds or tens or whatever sort of amount of companies. It just wasn't my thing to do, right? And so it's my business. Like you have your own business. Like if I ask you now, like where do you earn money and all these things? Hey, it's not my business. Aneh gitu kan? Nggak urusan gue gitu kan? Nggak urusan So the thing is that I keep things away from the public because for me it's not your business.
It's not their business.
It's my business and it's not their business to know everything that I run and own and all that. But I've made a decision that my team basically forced me to make the decision is that we're going to start to release that over to the public. So there'll be a book coming out soon. It's called The 100 Investments of Wempy Dyocta Koto that will highlight a lot of these different investments that I've kept private.
Orang-orang bisa beli buku itu di mana?
Bakal bisa dibeli bukunya. It's actually being written right now. Tapi the good thing about that book is that it's not just about my investments. Okay, you will learn about the entrepreneurs that I invested in. You will learn about the different companies and all that. But it's all about if you wanted to become an entrepreneur, you want to read that book because it's going to teach you. Okay, if you wanted to start a fashion company. Right? It's going to teach you how to start a fashion company, all the things that you should be careful of, not just from my perspective. Jadinya itu dari perspektif yang pengusaha saya investasiin. Jadinya itu ada bagian yang mereka bakal bagi saran, right? The entrepreneurs will give advice, will talk about their experience of getting invested by myself, the good, the bad, the struggles that they've had, the failures that they've had, right? And so they will give their appraisal and then I will give my appraisal. So if you wanted to open up a fashion company, here are my tips. If you wanted to open up a ayam bakar company, these are my tips.
Okay. So, tips how to buka ayam bakar, coba tips buat teman. Tips gimana caranya buka culinary business, tips yang cepat gitu.
Culinary business, oke. Nomor satu, lokasi itu adalah hal yang paling penting ya. Jadinya you have to take time. You nggak bisa asal loncat aja secepatnya gitu kan dan rental nyewa di mana gitu kan. Now, apakah lokasi yang sepi lebih bagus atau yang ramai lebih bagus? Itu ada beda pendapat. Tapi pendapat saya adalah yang tempat yang ramai yang paling bagus because that will make your place even more famous, right? It's like this. Is it better to sell clothes at a place where it's a residential area where not many people know, or is it better to sell clothes at Tanah Abang?
Tanah Abang, menurut aku.
Because everybody goes to Tanah Abang to buy clothes, right? And
exposure-nya dapat.
You get the exposure. So if you wanted to open up a culinary business, well, then you'd want to open up at places that's very popular for culinary businesses, like Sabang at Menteng, right? Block M, those sorts of places. So location is very important for opening up a culinary business. The next thing is just to work out your budget and your finances, right? You have to do a business plan. You have to be able to work out how much money you can survive on without earning an income. Okay? You have to do your business plan, right? You have to work out your operational costs, your staff costs, the price of chicken, the price of ketchup, the price of rice, the price of everything. You have to be able to work all those things out. The next thing, if you want to open up a culinary business also, really is just to have a good understanding of your competitors, right?
So we must learn the industry.
You have to understand the industry. You have to be able to know, okay, so what's hot now? Is it ayam bakar? Is it ayam geprek? Is it ayam tulang lunak? And what's going to make you different? That's what we call the USP, which is the ultimate selling proposition. Apa yang membuat usaha Anda beda dengan usaha orang lain gitu?
Apakah branding itu penting?
Branding is extremely important.
Karena banyak orang, misalnya teman saya juga ada beberapa orang, mereka mulai usaha, yang branding paling ada nama, misalnya nama apa gitu, yang bikin banner yang ada di depan tokonya, udah gitu. Apakah branding itu penting?
Branding itu penting. Kita bisa lihat dari sekarang aja ya. Ayam geprek yang paling populer yang mana?
Saya kurang tahu, soalnya saya bule yang di lokal orang Indonesia.
Kamu itu di Indonesia pada saya. Kamu udah berapa tahun di Indonesia?
Saya udah lebih dari 4 tahun.
Iya, mungkin kamu lebih Indonesia pada saya.
Oh ya, lebih Indonesia, tapi kan beda yang lahir di Indonesia sama dia orang Indonesia.
Ya gini deh, oke, kita lihat aja deh ayam geprek ya. Mungkin ada resep yang banyak banget, yang enak banget, yang di mana-mana, dari Jawa, dari Jakarta, dari mana-mana gitu. Tapi yang paling populer sekarang kan ya yang bensu gitu ya, misalnya ayam geprek bensu gitu, Ruben Onsu gitu kan. You know, he's got the brand from his name gitu ya. And you look at all of, you know, whatever companies it is, a food company, a fashion company, branding is everything, whether it's Louis Vuitton, whether it's Nike, whether it is, you know, Adidas, branding is vital.
Nice. And also, you talked about failure. What was your hardest lesson that you learned while being an entrepreneur?
I think you learn a lot of lessons. I've had a lot of lessons as an entrepreneur. I've had failures. I've had goodness. Where do I? How many minutes do you have?
No, it's okay. You have so much time.
I can talk about my failures for 24 hours.
Yeah, I mean, what's your hardest lesson?
I think the hardest lesson that you learn is just to be a good manager and be a good manager and good leader. Because it's different the way Indonesians work versus the way that, you know, people work overseas. It takes a lot to work in Indonesia. I'll just give you an example. Like in London, you know, this is my experience, right? But in London, when people are late, well, people are quite rarely late for the office, right? But when it's snowing, when it's hailing, whatever bad weather and all that, people still come to the office on time, right? And they will plan the night before. If they know that there's going to be snow, they know there may be transportation delays, so they plan the night before and they make sure that they get to work on time. Because London is generally, it runs like clockwork, it runs beautifully, right? But with Indonesians, it's very difficult to get somebody at 9 o'clock in the office, right? Because they have a lot of excuses. Yeah, ada macet, ada hujan, ada banjir, ada nenek yang meninggal. Dan mungkin neneknya udah meninggal 2 kali, 3 kali gitu.
You have business, so you know it much better.
Indonesians are very good at that. But we're very creative with our excuses. So I think the hardest thing that we can all learn in terms of just like companies is just
how to manage the business. And also,